Good morning. How are we doing? So are you just going to tell me to do weights and eat more protein? That was a question I had the other day when I was having a conversation with someone. They said, I don't really know if I need to do weights. I don't want to build lots of muscle. And, I've been told before I need to eat more protein, but I just find it difficult. And my responses were, if you want to, based on the research, not my opinion, live longer, have a better quality of life, which is more important perhaps in some ways, and get in great shape, be able to do more things, say yes to more things. Like, I had a comment from someone yesterday who said how doing gardening, they don't have to use certain things now to help them get on and off the floor. And it's just like little things like that are amazing. And if you think how good gardening is for your health and being outside and doing more things like that are for your health, your mental health, your physical health, and how that relates into our mental health and our life, it's amazing to think. Anyway, that was a bit of a tangent, but if you look at the research at the moment, it made me go back into it and go, you know what, let's have a look at what the research says, because I always think it's good not to put my opinion aside and go like, here's a study, here's some research, here's a meta-analysis, the highest level of evidence. And muscle strengthening activities associated with 10 to 17% lower risk of all-cause mortality, cardiovascular disease, cancer, diabetes, lung cancer, and which is just amazing to see. And this was from, the majority of the benefit came from up to 60 minutes a week, so 30 to 60 minutes, which is amazing because it's like, you could just say that's like 5-10 minutes a day you're getting benefit from. And for me, it's like, okay, if you're willing to do 5-10 minutes a day, which isn't a lot, you can get an immense amount of benefit here. And that's not to mention, they've tested this in lots of different ways. So there's a systematic review, which is a meta-analysis, which is a very high level of evidence. And they've also done it in ways of measuring by knee extension strength. So extend how much you can lift by extending your knee. Not that that's the one move, it's a good indicator. And yeah, those who had a 14% lower risk of death, mortality, had higher levels of muscular strength in their legs. And again, it's like, I don't know how much you can ignore this stuff. And actually, it's not about me and us at Fruci Fit just telling you to do these things. This is what the evidence shows. I'd love to say, no, just, don't bother with it. But it seems to be so protective, I guess, from an understanding point of view. And I like to make it real understandable sometimes, right? So if we think about it, the more muscle you have, the more space there is to store sugar. The more exercise you do, then resistance exercise can help with insulin sensitivity. This, aka, imagine you've got a bath. If that bathtub is full and you pull the plug, let's say you do an exercise, that sugar level will go down. You'll utilize the sugar more. If that bath is bigger, you can fit more water in the bath, aka fit more sugar, like glycogen, glucose, great storage in muscle. So again, if you think of that mechanism, blood sugar level control, we're all obsessed with how we respond to different foods. And with my nutritionist background and postgrad in nutrition, yeah, I love that. But actually, sometimes we're like so far into this, we're forgetting that there's this big thing here that will give us a hell of a lot of benefit, which could impact how we respond to foods as well. Because if we've got improved insulin sensitivity, we've got improved in terms of how we respond to certain foods. And it could be that we don't need to give up this food, give up that food, like our glucose monitor says, but instead, we can actually have those foods, have a balance, and be stronger and be fitter. So just a few things to consider with that. And it's more than just do resistance exercise and protein. Them two things will, without a doubt, stand you in good stead. But how do you do that? How do you make it convenient? Is it from home? Is it a bit in person? Is it making sure that you do a little bit in person, a little bit from home? Morning, Shirley. Morning, Teresa. Because that's sometimes the key part, is what can you do when you're busy, when you're stressed, when you're tired, when you haven't done it all, and knowing that actually 5-10 minutes of resistance exercise, according to research, not my opinion, in here. And I'll show you my screen as well. So I'm just so this was one of the studies here. And then the other one is a meta-analysis on here. But you just see time and time again. Good morning, Judy. You can't ignore this stuff. And actually it's about putting it together in a way that makes it convenient or as personal to you as possible. So for example, how we do that is by having sessions every day. 6:30, 7:15, 8 o'clock, 9:30, 10:15, lunchtimes, then evenings from 4:45, 5:30, 6:15, 7, and then weekends. So real range of sessions, but at the same time, we also have some from home as well. So you can make it as convenient as you like to make sure that you get it done, but also as personal as you like to make sure that we're making it personal for you, but at the same time, getting that community feel of like-minded people around, which we know is also a really key thing of sticking to something and making that community, that friendship, which isn't for everyone, but we know has a massive influence on adherence. So I could go on and all this all day, but if you take one thing from this, yeah, can you increase your protein? But it's about, okay, how do I increase my protein intake given what your tastes like are, what your lifestyle's like? Resistance exercise, how to do it, your form, your technique, how to progress, all these things that when you put them in together, I know that it's not got to be all or nothing, but it's think all or something rather than all or nothing. If you can't do it all, can I do something? Because guess what? 5-10 minutes still has a benefit. Anyway, have an awesome Sunday. And any questions, as always, do let me know. Control what you can, not what you wish you can. Morning session's about to go down. And then we have a busy week ahead this week. Monday, Devizes, Chippenham, Marlborough, all from home. And I'll see you later.